I'm sure you've heard that we're not only reviewing those, we've assigned a full-time staff person to implement them. Elements of the FACT report will play a major role in this industry's future. And I can promise that you'll hear more about this in the months ahead as we begin to implement these 23 consensus recommendations. Another thing we know will be a part of the industry's future is NextGen, and I told the board today that we are working, this administration is very committed to getting to next generation technology so we can fly planes in and out of airports safely, save jet fuel, relieve congestion, and we're committed to helping the airlines implement NextGen in their airplanes as we are committed to making sure that NextGen is in the TRACONs all around the country. By retrofitting aircraft and air traffic control centers with ADS-B, Advanced Communication System, real-time weather reports, and other technologies, NextGen will cut travel time, reduce congestion, and alleviate delays. We've been testing ADS-B capability in airspace around the country, and we're seeing consistently improved taxi times. But let me circle back to a few other efforts directed at making our skies as safe as possible. Just last week, the department proposed new pilot and crew training that will, for the first time ever, require pilots to demonstrate their skills in real-world scenarios, the kind of unexpected situations where instincts and proper training are critical. And like the Future of Aviation Committee, this proposal has been the product of significant collaboration. After initially proposing it in January of 2009, we sought input from many of you, from the industry, and we've made major changes based on what we've heard. Now, I can't talk about safety without giving credit where credit is due, and I want to express my appreciation to RAA and its members for being a willing and enthusiastic partner with DOT and FAA. You've been good partners, and we appreciate it. You've developed your own strategic safety initiative. You're conducting an ongoing study of fatigue and multi-segment operations. Thank you for doing that. Virtually all of you have adopted voluntary gold standard safety programs. Thank you for doing that. We're grateful. RAA is a leader. RAA has stepped up. And we look forward to working with you on similar efforts. So let me close by saying this. Over the past 2.5 years, DOT has partnered time and time again with RAA and its members. You've responded by embracing the opportunity to join us in moving the industry forward, which we have to do. Yes, you operate in a tough competitive marketplace. You face challenges from tight margins to high fuel prices. But there was a reason America was first to flight. There's a reason we led what Wilbur Wright called the infinite highway of the air. America build, we innovate, we transform challenges into opportunities. That's exactly what you're doing day in and day out, and that's what you're doing, all of you gathered here, because of your love for aviation, because of your recognition how important safety is, and because of your recognition of the partnership that you all have formed together to take aviation to the next level. So on behalf of President Obama and the Department of Transportation, I want you to know, can't say it enough, you have full partners at DOT when it comes to safety, when it comes to taking aviation to the next level. We're with you, we'll cooperate, and we'll do all we can to be helpful. Thank you all very much.
Mr. Secretary, thank you very, very much. Do you have time, or would you entertain?
Sure.
Secretary has opened up the floor for questions, and so please let me get it started. if I can, not with a question, but really with a thank you. Not only for spending all this much time with us here today, but in the meeting today with our CEOs, we laid out what we considered to be an issue for us and everybody in this room, and it was one of those 23 recommendations of the FAC was the real need for the next generation of aviation professionals. And the Secretary, in his graciousness, understood it and made a pledge and a commitment to us that he would create a group at DOT with our airlines to help address this problem, and for that kind of quick action on something that is going to be the biggest issue facing us, we can't thank you enough. So I want to give a big hand for the Secretary for that commitment. And before we open up officially with the ribbon cutting, we would be glad to address a question or two from the group. This is the man that won't let you text while driving now, too. Yeah. Greg, can you pick it?
Thank you. You too.
You are as frustrated as we are about 17, 18, whatever it is, Roger, FAA reauthorization extensions. As each day goes by, we're more and more concerned about another 1 or 2 month extension. And if that happens, you know, the AIP money that goes out to the airports that, especially smaller communities that the regional industry serves, will only come out in little dribs and drabs. And those airports from your part of the country, we've talked about this before, the northern part, are going to lose the summer construction season unless we either get a bill passed, which we're all working on, obviously, or an extension that goes to the end of the fiscal year so that that money can come out fully and we can take full advantage of the summer construction season. So I guess I'm just asking you to consider supporting an extension.
The question is about the FAA bill, which now has been extended 18 times. And what that means is the budget that we have for the FAA gets extended maybe a month or two, and you can't really allocate the money out in order to do the kind of improvements that we want to do with our friends at airports and continue to implement some of the other initiatives. And so we're down, the House passed a bill, the Senate passed a bill. There is a conference committee working on it of House members and Senate members with the administration. There are just a few items that are in dispute. I want everybody here to know that we are, the administration and some members of the conference committee are pushing very, very hard to make sure that we have a strong and EAS, Essential Air Service program, and the money, as we've always had, to make sure that service can be provided to communities that need it around the country. That is something that we will stay with, stick with, and it has to be. I think the conferees are just down to a few items, and then we'll hopefully get a bill to the President's desk, conference report passed by both houses. But we're pushing very hard. I've talked to Chairman Rockefeller, Chairman Mica in the House, Chairman Rockefeller in the Senate. We need an FAA bill. We need a plan. We need a blueprint. We need to move ahead for Next Gen, for EAS, for AIP, for all these important programs that are affected by the fact that we've had 18 extensions. So I believe we'll get there. I believe it'll be sooner rather than later. Thank you all very much.
If we can, would like to call up onto the stage the representatives of our two sponsors for our opening general ceremony, Superjet and PowerJet, to please join us, our Chairman Jim Rankin, and if you would do the honors, Mr. Secretary, of cutting the official ribbon.